Out on the far end of the Wyoming plains, where the wind howls through the sage and the night never forgets, one man's kindness would set the prairie on fire. Eli Turner didn't plan to be a hero. He just couldn't ride past someone dying. But mercy, out here in the West, always comes with a price. The night was colder than usual. The moon hid behind thick clouds as Eli Turner, a quiet rancher with more scars than stories, rode home across the open land. His horse, Ranger, moved slow, hooves crunching softly in the thin snow. Then much a sound, faint, broken, a human cry. Eli stopped. The wind carried it again, weak, trembling. He followed the voice down by the creek and found her. A young native girl, barely conscious, lay half in the water, half in the frost. Blood soaked her shoulder, an arrow wound deep and ugly. Her skin was pale, her breath shallow. Eli knelt beside her, heart pounding. "Easy now. You're all right." She tried to speak, but only a whisper came. Without a second thought, he snapped the arrow, wrapped her wound with his scarf, and lifted her into his arms. She was light, like carrying a bundle of feathers. By the time he reached his small ranch, dawn was creeping over the mountains. Inside the cabin, the fire crackled, throwing a soft glow over her face. Eli worked fast, cleaning the wound, stitching it as best he could. He'd seen men die with less, but he wasn't about to let this girl be one of them. When she opened her eyes, fear filled them. She tried to sit up, weakly fighting him off. "Hey," he said gently, "you're safe. I'm not gonna hurt you." She hesitated, then whispered, "Taya." He nodded. "Eli." They didn't talk much after that. He made her broth, helped her drink. The wind outside howled like a warning. By sunset, Taya was resting. Eli stepped out onto the porch. The world was quiet, too quiet. He noticed tracks near the ridge, faint in the snow. Moccasins. Not one pair, many. His gut twisted. He knew what that meant. He went back inside. Taya's eyes met his, scared, knowing. "They come," she whispered. Eli froze. "Your people?" She nodded. "They think you take me." Eli sighed. "No, I saved you. But they won't know that, will they?" Night fell heavy over the ranch. Eli sat with his rifle across his knees, firelight flickering over his face. Every sound outside made his heart beat faster. Then around midnight, hooves. Dozens of them. Slow circling. Eli stepped out the door. Moonlight spilled across the snow. Dark shapes moved among the trees, riders silent as shadows. "I mean no harm." He called out. "The girl's safe. I only helped her." For a moment, nothing. Then a tall figure rode forward, proud, wrapped in furs. A war chief. His eyes glinted like steel. "You touched her?" the man asked, voice low and cold. "I saved her life," Eli said. From inside, a weak voice cried out, "Father!" The chief's expression shifted, pain and anger colliding in his eyes. He dismounted, stared Eli down. "You did not harm her?" Eli shook his head. "No, she'd have died out there." The man studied him long and hard, then nodded once. He motioned to his men. They lowered their weapons. Two riders entered the cabin and gently lifted Taya. The chief turned back to Eli. "You have courage," he said, "and a good heart. But this land remembers everything. Be careful what debts you make with blood." Eli didn't answer. He just stood there, watching them ride away under the silver moon, a dozen shadows fading into the horizon. When silence returned, he looked down at the tracks in the snow, forming a perfect circle around his ranch. Not an attack, not a threat, but a mark, a warning. He went back inside, the fire almost out, the smell of smoke thick in the room. He sat in his chair, staring at the door where she had been. Somewhere deep in his chest, something heavy settled, the feeling that his life, quiet and lonely as it was, had just changed forever. Narrator's outro, soft, reflective tone. Out here in the West, a man's mercy can save a life, or start a war. And for Eli Turner, that line had just been crossed.